What's up everybody, Cerridius here. Now, a lot of you guys know me as being a Titan main, which I guess is true in a sense. I mainly play Titan, but I play Titan and Hunter. I don't play Warlock. I originally started off with Destiny 1 as a Hunter, eventually moved to Titan. Destiny 2 came out, and I still kind of just played a Titan, but regardless of that, this new season with Stasis and the new Hunter subclass Stasis and the new Exotic, just this style movement is honestly it's my absolute favorite type of gameplay. Now, from my experience throughout quick play and playing Destiny, I play a lot of PvP. I mostly mainly play nothing but PvP. I very rarely do PvE, very little. Majority of people play Hunters, and then you have Titans and Warlocks are about the same. I think in a competitive aspect, Titans are probably the worst. Titans are probably the worst because of their they lack that movement, and I just don't think you see them much in competitive play. Now, like all these top players that play a Hunter or a Warlock. Now, a Hunter and a Warlock. Warlock, typically it's top tree Dawnblade. For the most part, has a much higher potential, but it's a little harder to do, I think. This is just my opinion. Whereas a Hunter, you have, pretty far up there, maybe just like a tad lower than a Warlock, but it's a lot easier to get there. For the most part, the Hunter stuff is, it's pretty easy to pick up and do quickly. Honestly, now though, I think, this is my opinion, I believe the Stasis Hunter, especially with the Mask of Bacchus, has better movement than a top tree Dawnblade. This has the best movement. I feel like this Stasis Hunter has had the best movement out of any time in Destiny. Sure, the Titans got the that melee ability, but it's still a melee ability for the most part. It's fairly easy to counter and see coming at you. Has a 30-second cooldown. Maybe I think it's 27 with max strength, and then the slide is pretty neat and cool, but it's still a slide. It's not a get out of jail free card. It's still a slide. Now, the Hunter has always been known to be so good movement wise because what they have over the other two subclasses is instant verticality. So they have the instant jump, whereas Titans and Warlocks basically float. Hunters have that instant jump, right? They also have the roll. I'm just gonna do a backwards roll, but they have the roll, which is, you're sitting there shooting somebody, and you basically have a get out of jail free card. That was too far, of course, but just an example. You have a get out of jail free card, kind of. Warlock's kind of the same. You can sideways dash, but again, you're limited to a top tree Dawnblade, whereas the other Warlocks can't. Other subclasses can't do that. Whereas every Hunter class can roll, but only a Stasis Hunter can Mask of Bacchus roll. So we have the instant jump, right? We have the crazy freaking teleport roll. Now, the newest thing that really made me want to play a Hunter is this ability, the Shatter Dive. This Shatter Dive, not only now do we have instant in the air, you have instant go to the ground, which has been so good for me in the Crucible. There's so many times where you play a Hunter. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys who have this, where you're just in the air and like, oh crap, there's a sniper aiming at me, or you get in a fight and there's too many people and you're already there's nothing you can do. Like, you sit here, jump, you peek, oh crap, too many people, just look right, stays to slam back down. Just get into cover real quick, basically. It's so good for movement. On top of that, it does 50 damage. And it's a pretty decent radius. Like, this little blast does 50 damage. You hit a shatter. Like, there's so much utility on the Stasis Hunter right now. And I have never actually had a subclass where I love all three of those abilities. All three of those abilities on the bottom left screen. I have never had a class where I like that. Titan. Let's see. Bottom tree strikers what I play a lot. Your punch, your frontal assault, I like that ability, is good. I like that ability. Grenades for the most part on Titan. No one uses flashbang. You usually just end up blinding yourself. The pulse grenade's alright. Lightning grenade, people just shoot in PC anyway, and you throw them on a flat wall and they angle up 45 degrees. And then, so the grenades are okay, but then the shield for the most part are kind of lackluster. You end up throwing it down, people just punch you through it. You try and punch them, you end up punching the shield, and it's just, yeah. So that's for Titan. The hunters, for the most part, the grenades are, you know, fairly decent. Smoke grenade, it's all right, pretty good. Throwing knives, those are good. And the roll was also always pretty good. So hunter definitely up there a little more. Warlocks, I'm not gonna talk about. I don't play Warlock. But the hunter, stasis, I absolutely love all three of these abilities. I'm pretty sure the shatter, this thing right here, will be nerfed here pretty soon. But for now, that combo is just it's pretty game shattering. All right. So that's a big kind of introduction, but I just absolutely love all three of these abilities. The Shatter Dive is just so good for movement. On top of it, you take less damage while you're in this animation. You can tank a super hit. You can tank for most of them. You can tank a striker knee kicking you. You can tank a arc strider smacking you with their staff. I think you can probably tank a Dawnblade hit. For the most part, like you have reduced damage while you do damage. So real quick, I'm going to just kind of talk about these three abilities, and then I got a lot of examples to show you guys. I've been saving up clips of examples to show you guys. So let's get into this the hunter build real quick. For the most part, for me, I always prioritize mobility on a hunter. I don't care if I have 3 recovery, which is what I had for a while, and people were always making fun of me or trying to open up my inventory. I have 100 recovery, like, why do you have? Or I have 100 mobility, and they're like, why do you have 3 recov? Because I prioritize mobility on a hunter. But for the most part, I think you're gonna want to do 100 mobility and 100 recov if you can. I've just been slowly working on my armor, so yeah. I 100% recommend Mask of Bacchus on a stasis hunter. It is absolutely crazy. Yes, you get a 10-second cooldown, additional cooldown on your roll, so your total roll timer is basically 21 seconds versus the 11. Takes a little bit to get used to, but it is so worth it. Bacchus is just extremely good. There's so many good combinations you can do with it. Everything else in your armor kind of just lean towards what you're using, you know, hand cannon, shotgun, hand cannon, sniper, switch it up from there, and you're good to go. Now on the Revenant, I don't think I have all of the fragments, but I don't care because these are the 3 main ones. I always recommend using a strafe jump. You can use whatever you like, but I recommend strafe jump. Withering Blade, don't have a choice. Glacier Grenade, I recommend using this Ice Wall Grenade over these 2. And you have your 2 aspect options. These are both extremely good. Fragments, what I've been running is Whisper of Fissures, so this makes your crystals damage burst bigger and do more damage, and it will one-shot a super. It is that easy. On top of, I run Whisper of Shards, which when you bust a crystal, you get a timer on your bottom screen that will give you back grenade energy. And it doesn't matter if you shatter with Shatter Dive or with a pit or with your gun, or if it's an enemy one. So if you see a crystal across the map, you can shoot it with your gun, and if you bust it, I think it's 5 seconds per crystal, but you can start just busting crystals and you'll start getting grenade back. So that's why Discipline's not crazy needed, because you can kind of cheat it that way. Now, at first, I was using Marksman Dodge with my Mask of Bacchus, which is kind of nice in some parts, but towards the end, I started switching to Gambler's Dodge, and trust me, it's the way to go. It's the way to go because of the Gambler's, because of the little combination you can do with Winter's Shroud. So that's a quick chat on that. Just a quick example of what I'm talking about, the grenades. Shooting one, you get 5 seconds. Shoot another one, gives you another 5 seconds, and you can kind of... These take a little while to spawn. I don't know how long exactly, probably 15 seconds. Maybe longer, but you can kind of farm them to get your grenade back. And look at that, I'm already over halfway to getting my grenade back. And you kind of inherently do that when you Shatter Dive down on it. Now, this Bacchus paired with Winter Shroud is it's I hope it's not nerfed, but it might get nerfed a little later because it is extremely rewarding and extremely easy to do. You can literally solo supers. I am not afraid to challenge a behemoth coming at me. As long as they don't right click slam, which a lot of them don't, a lot of them kind of just punch you, you can beat them. And now this is why I recommend having Gambler's Dodge, because if you're out of the shuriken, if you roll near them, you basically get a shuriken every 21 seconds. And so when you roll near them, you do one stack of the Freezy Boy on them, hit them with the shuriken, and they're frozen. Then you can shotgun, punch, and shatter dive them for a big combo. Or even if you have a grenade, you can shatter dive onto them too. So that's an extremely good combo, pairing your roll with the shuriken, and that's why Gambler's Dodge is a lot nicer. Don't forget to utilize this shatter dive. This will be the hardest thing to get used to because it's basically a whole brand new movement ability, and this will be tough to incorporate this into like your muscle memory. But once you get it down, it comes in clutch, especially with killing people, and I'll show you a lot of examples. One more thing, don't forget to, after you do your super, you can shatter dive down to get out of the air from floating so long, and you can kind of shatter your enemies that you freeze to save ammo and, you know, kill them that way. So this other move that you can do, it's on a hunter. This one is more difficult to remember to incorporate into your your little routine, more so than just adding shatter dive into your movement. And there will be less occasions where you actually do this, and it's pretty cool. It's almost like it's like a fighting move combo, and like I said, it's kind of tough to get in, but once you start incorporating it, it might save you a couple kills because it'll save you from trading. It'll save you, like, oh, I just left that guy with an ounce of health. He would have been dead if I would have shatter dive. Now you can melee with using your super button, but without using a shuriken, but that's not really smart to do because then you might accidentally use your super. But I'm gonna get rid of this for example. So the easiest way to do this is jump while you're in the air, shoot, punch, slam. You can do shoot, jump, punch, slam, but whatever ways for you, whatever works out. But this is a little easier. So basically, say you're coming around a corner or you're coming at somebody, shoot them, punch them, slam. Real simple, for the most part. There's a slight cooldown on Shatter Slam, probably like a second and a half, 2 seconds. I'll slow it down a little bit so you can actually see the melee. And that's a quick little combo. It's like a fighting move in a game, and it will come in clutch sometimes. So this is a long intro, but we're gonna get into clips, and I'm gonna show you lots of examples. So before we get started here, people always ask me all the time in my stream, how do I get better? How do I get better movement-wise, decision-making, aim, and stuff like that? So I'm going to give you a real quick little chat about that. Aim-wise, you can do aim trainers and stuff like that, but the best way I always say to get better with your aim inside Destiny 2 is to literally go in a 1v1 with one of your friends and just shoot each other with whatever gun you want to get better with, whether that's an AR or a handgun. Just shoot at each other. Don't use any cheesy abilities, cheesy supers, nothing cheesy. Just do that for hours and hours, and you will improve your aim. Record your gameplay, see if you're overshooting, undershooting, see if you need to correct your DPI and sense. Don't touch that too much, but if you're really drastically off, then you might need to adjust it. That's how you do your best way to do your aim in Destiny, I believe. Now, movement, decision making, that's kind of towards an individual's experience. You know, previous games you played in the past, making clutch plays in their movement and decision and scenarios that happened in previous different games transfer over to any first-person shooter. A baseline I kind of tell people to learn from, you know, just making plays here and there is honestly just watch your favorite good PvP Destiny streamer, whether it's me, Panda, Frostbolt, Mikowski, or whoever else you think in the community is good. Watch their movement, watch their plays. Try and mimic it. Eventually, you can put your own twist to it. But for the most part, decision making, there's no way to teach that. There's a million different ways you can make a play, and in the end, it's up to you to try and choose the right path to go to. But enough of that. Let's get into this Revenant movement. All right. So if you know, you know. But I'm gonna talk to you as if you don't know. So this first basic move I'm gonna teach you is the Mask of Backstreet Boys dash in, dodge, and grenade slam. It's pretty simple for the most part, and it's super effective in the beginning of games, especially control matches. Basically, you're gonna rush a choke point, or in the beginning of games, rush a point that's like super popular. And this is best to do right around corners. You dash in, look straight down, toss your grenade, jump, and then slam back down. Typically easy 2-3 kills. Depending on how many people pile up, you can even get 4 or 5. You can also super bounce this way and go all the way to the skybox, but for the most part, not really necessary. More to do just to have fun, flying up to the sky. But super basic first move, and really effective. Alright, tip number 2, the Hunter Goomba Slam. Now, don't just use Shatter Dive to strictly shatter stasis crystals for that big damage right there. Shatter Dive is such an amazing ability on its own. Hunters have instant verticality. You jump instantly, don't float like Hunters and Titans. And now you have an instant downwards ability that not only does damage when you hit the ground, it also reduces damage while you are going to the ground. Use Shatter Dive for DPS, movement, and survivability. And honestly, nobody does this. Very few people do this. I have yet to encounter like another hunter, maybe 1 or 2 times, who actually have used Shatter Dive on me as a DPS ability. Everyone just uses it to shatter crystals. They don't think to use it for this. And it's so good to finish off wounded people, because this 50 damage blast radius it's actually pretty big. And nobody expects it. Nobody expects you to come slamming down. And when they do, they can't react to it. A lot of times, this will save your melee ability. It'll save your shurikens, so you don't have to waste a shuriken to kill somebody who would have just been dead from a Shatter Dive. Or maybe you're just too far to get the melee off, so the Shatter Dive is there. And it is, like I said, it is tanky. You can tank a super hit. I'll show you a clip where I'm on a Titan, and I actually go to hit a hunter who's trying to shatter slam me, which he does, but I hit him directly with my knee kick, and it just tickles him. Another clip, I'll show you another clip where I'm the hunter, and an Arc Strider hits me, and I just tank it, and then I shatter and slam him. Biggest use for this is definitely with shotguns. If you shotgun them a little too far, leave them some health left, Goomba slam them, you take reduced damage, and they won't expect it, and you finish off your kill. And you're out of the air. That's one of the best things, is you're out of the air. And remember me talking about that jump, shoot, punch, slam? That won't happen all the time, but there was a rare occasion where it could have come in clutch and save you a trade or something, because this will prevent trades, basically. Alright, so tip number 3 kind of plays off of tip 2 with the Shatter Dive, where I tell you to use this for survivability and movement. I'm going to show you examples of clips where I use this for survivability and movement. And this is honestly one of the, besides that punch slam thing, this is one of the harder things to try and remember to incorporate into your hunter gameplay, because it is basically a new movement ability that we've never had before. So it's like we have our memory, muscle memory embedded in already, and we have to learn something new. But once you get it, there will be, you will love this. Like, there's so many occasions, I guarantee, where you're stuck in the air and just there's nothing you could do because you're stuck in the air, or you're running from somebody, you jump behind something, but you know your head's still sticking up for half a second and you get killed. But Shatter Dive lets you get away from that. In this upcoming clip with the Sunshot, you'll see after I get a kill on this guy, I Shatter Slam down, which does damage reduction on me, and I'm able to survive this Pulse Blast and get out of there. Next clip, after I finish off one of those Guardians on distant shore, instead of being stuck in the air, I Shatter Dive backwards, kind of into cover, it's a little past it, but I still managed to make it work, and just get out of the air instantly. Same thing with this 900 clip, I'm just pretty far up in the air. Honestly, if I didn't dive down, I would have been easy kill for someone, whoever was shooting at me. The Shatter Dive timing on this guy's fusion rifle, he doesn't, they don't expect it. They don't expect it. Alright, so this next little combination I'm going to show you is honestly why I recommend running Mask at Backstreet, because it's just insane. You fear nothing. Supers, bring him on. You challenge them. You're looking for a worthy fight. Behemoth Titans, come at me, bro. I mean, as long as they don't like right click freeze you, but for the most part, most behemoths just try and punch you. And this is the best move, and this is extremely fun. I have been loving playing a hunter. I hope they don't nerf it. They probably will, but I've been loving it. I call this one Jazzing on him, simply because I did it to Jazz. And don't worry about the teabags. Jazz and I are cool. So basically, what you do is you get near somebody, or if it's a super, you let them kind of come to you. You back wrist dodge. with Winter Shroud on, and Winter Shroud will put on a slow, I think it's ×5 or something like that. After you dodge in wherever direction you choose to, you throw a shuriken at them, and that's it. They're frozen. That's it, as simple as that. But it's so effective, it is so powerful that you can just destroy supers. Now, the next thing to incorporate, I recommend kind of jumping after you dodge, that way when you shuriken, then you can slam right away. If it's a behemoth, you might need to put a shotgun and then a slam. But this is why I say use Gambler's Dodge. Because when you roll near somebody with Gambler's Dodge, you get a melee charge back, which means you get a shuriken back. Which means you basically pop a backrest roll near somebody, and you get a shuriken back every 21 seconds along with your roll, which is incredibly powerful. You basically get a free kill every 20 seconds. Like I said, I'm sure a lot of you know some of the stuff, but a lot of you probably don't. And this little combination, along with even the Shatter Grenade, it is overpowered. Like, you see supers don't stand a chance. And I'm gonna enjoy the crap out of it until it gets nerfed, because this is so fun, so satisfying, and so rewarding. And honestly, Destiny, yeah, I don't want to get in debate about that. But yeah, this is destroy supers, destroys everything. Night night.
Come on. Oh, wrong one. Get frozen, nerd.
You continue to be my greatest success, Gotcha.
Alright, so the last tip. Tip number 5. Ninja stars. Remember to throw these. Remember, these things bounce off of walls, and they have some pretty good tracking. As long as you got a decent little pool table geometry, trigonometry going on, you can get some mean kills. And again, I have been absolutely loving all the stasis abilities on the Hunter, and these shurikens are just top-notch as well. They can hit multiple people and freeze multiple people at once. They make corner campers regret camping in that corner. They can crit for 91. If you remember to throw them pretty quickly, you can get a kill and no one can run from you. Now, honestly, I forgot to record a lot of the shuriken kills I got in quick play because I didn't think too much of it and I wasn't really thinking about it for this video. So some of these clips were in private matches against my girlfriend and some of her friends, but they are like legit kills. They're not staged.
Oh no!
Just try to.
What the fuck? I can't shoot. I'm laughing. Ow! Goodness.
Double down. Double down.
Okay.
Oh fuck! My throat hurts from laughing too much.
Oh.
So that's going to be it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully this helps out some Stasis Hunters, and maybe someone who hasn't played a Stasis Hunter yet can learn from this. Mask of Backrest is insane, so it's just crazy not to pair it with this. These last two clips I have are kind of just, you know, these aren't really tips. It's just a funny thing you could do in Rumble, and maybe even like quick play and some other stuff. You can just hit fire, bait some shots like you're shooting up. You distracted somebody and they run behind you. You backrest dodge behind them and you ninja them. It's basically like the old Halo ninjas where you're running and then you jump backwards, look down, and assassinate them. So that's it. Rest of the clips are just kind of clips I recorded for this video, but I didn't really find a use for them. So hope you enjoy those. Thank you guys so much for the support on YouTube. I am almost at 80,000 subscribers, which is huge. If you could like this video, I'd appreciate it so much. Maybe share it with some of your Hunter friends. Check out my Twitch links down below if you want to watch me live. Subscribe if you want to see more Destiny 2 content, and I'll see you in the next one.
Are you guys blowing some glaciers up? Yeah.
1 minute left. The enemy is out of second shot. For one. Enemy claims zone B. 2 for 1. You're almost there. Your enemy can't kill if they're dead. 3 opponents down. Enemy captured. You have advanced. Double down. Your legend rose.
Bro, he's fighting bottom lane and shoots me.
2 for 1.
They want your buns.
They do.
Lol, imagine pushing me.
You're out of life. What the? Fight. You have advanced. Fighting with heart, Guardian. 2 for. Zone A captured. That's a power play. You took them. Now hold. 2 for 1. 3 opponents down. Fantastic work. You're unstoppable. I've seen enough. I'm calling this one.
Jesus Christ, Shax.
I've
Get
seen
wrecked,
enough.
nerd.
I'm calling this one. One. Triple down. Look at them fall. Your legend rose. Double down. Triple down. Now you're fighting with heart, Guardian.